So our focus for today is about slowing the pace a little bit more and really rewarding yourself for the last 6 days of your practice. So we're going to de-stress, focus on mindful movement today, and a deeper connection with the breath and a deeper stretch. So for this, you will actually need a strap, something like this. It doesn't have to be a yoga strap. It could be a belt or a towel, just anything that's going to help give you a little bit more leverage to enter some of the stretches. Okay, but if you don't need it, then don't worry. Join me on the mat and we will get started with this little relaxation reward. So roll down onto your back. And you're going to bring your heels into your buttocks, set the hands down by your side. I'm going to pop that over this side. And we're going to bring the arms out to the side, just moving them away from the body slightly. And you want to send the hips over to one side, looking over the opposite shoulder. You're looking for a stretch through the lower spine and that top hip. And as you exhale, draw the hips to center. And inhale, twist to the other side. So we're just focusing on mobilizing the spine, bringing some movement to your body. Some of you may have been at work all day sitting behind desks. Some of you may have been very active and you just need to cool down and unwind. So tune into your breath and let it create the rhythm of your movement. And focus on the quality and the depth of your movement. So really tune into what it feels like to twist and rotate through the spine. And for the last part of this movement, I want you to really feel your belly button pulling into your spine and down to the ground, and let that be the thing that sends the hips back into the center. And with the next hip twist, I want you to hold that position. So we're just in this rotated position, looking at that stretch through the top thigh. And to deepen this stretch, feel free to draw the knees closer or higher up your torso. And you can rest your hand on the top of that thigh to help deepen the stretch. Be sure to keep that extended arm on the mat and the back of the shoulders grounded also. And I invite you to close your eyes down and tune into the rhythm of your breath, the quality of each breath. During this practice, we'll be holding certain stretches for a little longer than usual. Give the body a chance to settle into it, relax into it. With the next breath in, prepare, draw the hips to center as you release the breath and send it over the opposite side. And take one final breath in here. And then bring the hips back to center. Head back to center. You're going to grab behind the thighs, drawing them into the chest and roll up to a seated position. And we're coming onto all fours. So for this, we're going to take our knees wider than our hips. If you can, wider than your shoulders. But for me, just in between that works quite well. And you're sending your hips backwards. And you're looking for an opening sensation through the inside of the hips. So gently draw the hips down towards your heels. And then bring yourself down into your forearms if that feels good. Again, still try and keep the spine nice and neutral so you're not arching through the back. For this, toes are turned out. And you're just resting in this frog pose. Looking for length and openness through the hips. I invite you to rest your head on your hands or the floor. Close the eyes down and observe the breath as it comes and it goes. Try and relax the shoulders, draw them away from the ears so you're not tensing through the neck. Keep the spine neutral from the tailbone to the crown. And because this is quite a deep stretch, with the next breath in, I want you to slowly come out of the stretch, shifting your weight forwards. And then coming up onto your hands. Take as much time as you need to draw the knees in. And then we're coming down onto our front. Bringing your forearms down on the ground. And rolling down, forehead on the mat. Shoulders drawn away from the ears. Take a deep breath in as you exhale. Lift through the hips, lift through the head and the shoulders, lightly supporting yourself in this one prep. You're looking for squeeze, tension in the lower back and the glutes, and slowly rolling back down to the ground. Exhale, lift, open the front of the body, gently squeezing the lower back and roll down. Enter this exercise with control and feel each section of the spine as it compresses with the lift up. I'm going to invite you to look over one shoulder as you roll back down to the ground. Inhale, bring the head to center. Exhale, look over the opposite shoulder. So even though there's rotation through the neck now and extension through the spine, you're still looking for length from the tailbone to the crown. Each time finding greater elevation. And with the last one, roll down, forehead on the mat. Extend both hands behind you. Pull the thighs in together. Draw the hands down the spine past the tailbone. Lift the chest. And then roll down, look over one shoulder.
double leg kick. Pull both thighs in or both feet in. Double kick, squeeze in the back of the thighs. Draw the hand down, lift through the torso, and then look over the opposite shoulder as you roll down. Double leg kick. So during your double leg kick, you want to rest both hands just on the small of your back or as high as you're comfortable going. Squeezing through the back of the thighs as you pull the heels in. Last one. Beautiful. Draw the hands down, one final extension through the spine, then roll down. Flex the feet, send the hands just below the shoulders, and then we're pushing chest and lifting hips up and back away from the floor, coming into downward dog. Pedal through the legs. Find length through the back of the legs and both edges of the body. Relaxing the shoulders, draw them away from the ears, but pressing strongly through both arms, gripping into the mat with all 10 fingers. Find some stillness in your downward dog. Deep breath in, and then walk the feet to hands. Bend through the knees. And we're going to set ourselves down onto the ground. So, we're coming into a cross-leg position. Now, you can use a couple cushions if you have them close by to elevate your position if this feels quite tight on your hips. But if not, then just relax here. We're sending the right hand down to the ground and left arm overhead to come into a seated side bend. Anchor your hips into the ground and gently pull that top shoulder backwards to open the chest. Inhale, float the left hand down, set the right hand overhead, stretching to the opposite side. Inhale, switch side, exhale into the stretch. So you're looking to get loads of length through the outside edge of the body, keeping the hips anchored. Using the breath to create space. And the inward breath to create space. And you're using the outward breath to move into that space. One final stretch on both sides. Just pause for a little bit longer. Really breathe into the outside edge of that body. Then slowly roll up, switch side. Oh, I feel really tight today. Inhale, roll up, set both hands down on the ground. So let's roll down to the ground. And bring both feet hip width apart. Set the hips down, find length through the spine. And hands down by your side, gently tucking the chin on the exhale. Slight restriction of the throat, untuck on the inhale. For a gentle head nod. You're looking for a subtle lengthening of the back of the neck with that light restriction in the throat. And as you untuck the chin, that opening sensation to the throat, and finding that neutral position through the neck and the head. Last one. neutral position. Look over one shoulder, keeping both shoulders down, chest and rib cage in a nice neutral position, breathing out to the side, and with the inhale send the head through center, exhale over to the other side. And drawing the shoulders down and away from the ears to create loads of room, coming back to center. Grab behind the thighs as you draw them into the chest and roll up to a seated position. Extend through the legs. And if you feel quite tight through the back of the legs, feel free to soften the bend in the knees just to take that pull away from the back of the legs. And we're coming into a forward fold. So you also have the option to use the straps for a bit of leverage if you're particularly tight through the lower back and the back of the legs. And you can draw the strap around the soles of the feet, find length through the spine. Begin by tucking the chin and then drawing the crown of your head towards your feet and rounding through the top of the spine, keeping the core engaged, reaching the crown of your head towards your feet. And once you're there, pause, find length through the back of the legs as you gently slide your heels away from the hips. And then inhale, roll up through the spine, sending the crown of your head upwards. Tuck the chin, reach forwards. And if you don't need the strap, feel free to reach forwards through the arms, relax through the shoulders. And then inhale, roll up through the spine, restacking each link. Nice and long, shoulders relaxed. Last one, reach and hold. Set the hands down where they lay, shins, floor, or your feet. Relax through the shoulders. And breathe into the lower back. And breathe in to the upper back, stretching out the shoulder blades, creating that space. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Drawing the crown of the head towards your toes and expanding the lower back and the upper back to stretch out the spine. Last breath in, roll up through the spine. Roll the shoulders down the spine and relax. Couple shoulder circles backwards just to loosen them up, and then forwards. Your back should feel really open now. So we're going to transition down onto our back. Feet hip width apart. Gently tucking your chin. Hands down by your side, and then lifting your head, keeping that length through the back of your neck, lifting the chest, reaching the hands past your waist, bringing the left leg into tabletop, and then gently settling it back down, right leg into tabletop. So using that length that we've created through the back of our body, alternating as we bring the legs into tabletop, working through the front of our body to really strengthen the core, the abdomen, those deeper abdominal muscles, keeping that good stability through the hips, and staying with the breath one last time on both sides. Setting both feet back down and gently rolling down through the spine, nice and long. bringing the heels into your hips and then lifting through the hips, coming into a shoulder bridge, opening up the hips, holding the shoulder bridge, find loads of tension through the glutes to open the hips, gently pulling or squeezing the back of the thighs to help ground the feet and the shoulders. And feel free to interlace the hands beneath you and gently walk your shoulders down and away from the ears to further increase the back bend. Stretch out the shoulders. One final breath in, release, and slowly roll down through each section of your spine. From the upper back to tailbone. And then draw your thighs into your chest. And here you can reach for the strap again as we set the right foot down to the ground. We're going to take the strap across the sole of the left foot and then draw that leg upwards as though we're pushing our heels to the roof. And then gently pulling on that strap, looking for a soft bend in the knee and a nice open stretch sensation through the back of the thigh. I find it comfortable to hold as high up the strap as I possibly can while maintaining a nice neutral spine. Shoulders are grounded and my head and throat is relaxed. I then use the weight of my arms to be the thing that facilitates the stretch. So I'm not pulling as such, I'm just using the natural weight of my arms to help increase or deepen the stretch. So find a nice method that works for you where you're not building any tension through the tops of your thighs or your shoulders and neck. And again, feel free to close the eyes down. Reconnect with the breath. And really tune in to what's happening in the body. Where you're holding the tension, where you've achieved that relaxation. Slowly ease off that stretch, gently bend the knee. And then we're going to just feed the opposite leg through. Setting the left foot down. Use the weight of your arms to be the thing that helps to deepen the stretch. And then with the next breath in, bend through the knee, remove the strap, place it to one side, and bring the feet together, but let the thighs fall apart to open the hips. Feel free to gently rock side to side to loosen up the lower back, arms down by your side. And then find some stillness in this reclined butterfly. And take a moment to sink in to the breath and observe the connection that you have with the ground, the back of your head, the back of the spine, tailbone, the edges of your feet. And then with the next breath in, feel free to use your hands to bring the thighs together. Gently pull the thighs into the chest. Take a nice deep breath in. Grab behind the thighs, and as you exhale, roll up to a seated position. To finish off this practice, blink the eyes open if they are still closed. And bring yourself back into the room. Beautiful work. Thank you very, very much for this first section of your practice. It's been a really beautiful 7 days and I've enjoyed sharing it with you. Let's look forward to the week coming ahead where we will start to focus on building strength in your core and building that stability a little bit more. We've set the foundations now, so it's time to excel. Until the next practice, you stay blessed. Peace.